1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I bet you if I looked really hard, I'd find a 6. There's 6. Okay, so that's good. We went from, what was it? Okay, so we went from a 27 mite and a 300 sample shake. I was freaking out. There's Apivar in there. So then I dropped an Api Life Var, and it purged the mites. 100 mites every day on the bottom board for about a week. And now I followed up with 2 rounds of Oxalic. The last round of Oxalic, I think it was 10 I was counting on the last sticky. And after the second round, 6. So this one shook as like a 2 or 3%. Whoops. So this one was a very low infestation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same deal. This one's a 21 count. The 300 mite shake when we treated with Apivar. And then we knocked them down with Api Life Var and 2 rounds of Oxalic. And this sticky on the second drop is 1. If I looked really hard, I'd find 2, I bet you. Good news. Day number 3, putting in my refrigeration system. Installing the piping now. So the electrician was here yesterday, putting in all the expensive wiring. And today, the refrigeration people were here plumbing everything in. So the pumps are outside. They came today also. Three 4.5 horsepower pumps. Each one is just about 35,000 BTUs. These equal 105,000 BTUs, and I sized my shed for 1,800 colonies, and the calculation that they use is 48 BTUs per colony. So that brings the BTUs needed to about 86,000. So I have about 20,000 BTU surplus, which provides me, you know, the math works out, I need 2 and just a little bit, but I'm putting 1,600 in there right now, and I need about 80,000 or something like that. So I'd be able to get away with 2, but because I need a little bit more, we're putting in 3 just to provide my capacity and the redundancy if something goes wrong. It also buys me the ability to put in more if I wanted to, so I could surge the number of colonies within the shed. I was going to start moving today, but the bees started flying, so I decided, well, I'm going to get on to other things. But as soon as they're done, all the piping will be put in, the wiring will all be done. So hopefully Friday, this weekend, I'm going to start moving bees in. Nicely clustered up. lots of bees. Decent little clusters. I'm quite happy. This is a, here's a VSH. So the VSH I brought in, and they're a lot slower in development. I noticed a little bit less honey from them. Hard to measure because I didn't actually weigh them out. But noticeably, those ones were less honey. The Golden West, they produced honey, they produced bees. They're really good. I didn't compare any mite shakes with them. I just put them into my operation, run them like the rest, and see how they come out. My idea is, you know, if I'm having trouble with varroa mite and my control of varroa mite, with the colonies that aren't having trouble with varroa mite, they're going to be quite obvious in the spring. Because it's also not just the varroa mite, it's the viral loads and all the other factors and conditions. That's just the way I'm assessing it. Beautiful little clusters. There's nothing wrong with those VSH colonies. Here's another one. VSH. Some dead bees up front. Could be from the oxalic acid. Show us what you got. Decent. VSH. Nice. Heavy. Smell terrific. Tight little cluster. Fantastic. Nothing that, I mean, our colonies are looking pretty good too. This is some carries. They're not the fresh queens, but these have been put in. Like that one's 2023, this one's 2022. Quite capable. So if I keep tipping colonies back like this, then I think I'm going to be quite happy with the way they perform in the shed. If I have any problems, I'd be seeing them now. That colony, or that yard, that higher mite count yard that I tip back, and I'm doing all my intensive monitoring on just to see what's going on. Those clusters are a lot smaller, and I think they were compromised by mites. Whereas maybe some of the other yards I had that didn't reach that, you know, some of those 10% counts earlier in September, they stayed around that 3 to 5. Those nests would not have been compromised the same way. And pretty much showing it right now. So the more I tip back that look decent, tells me that my mite problem wasn't as severe as I maybe feared it was, and my actions towards it, they're going to count. Another load of firewood. Every time I come back to the yard, it's almost like Christmas morning. Look at the work. So it appears that everything's wired in, or close to being wired in. Yep, they should be able to finish it tomorrow. And the refrigeration is all right. In on the pumps. What's the chances I can get this fired up tomorrow? Move bees on the weekend. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm pretty sure inside's finished. Yep. Yep, they have the inside all done now. So my thermostats for every pump and my on-off for every pump. Just about done in here. Just about. It looks like the wiring, all they have to do probably now is just wire it into the main breaker box. So I hope they can get that completed, charge the system, turn it on. Move bees on the weekend. Boy, that would be pretty exciting if I could move bees on Saturday. All right. Yep, they're just to the finishing touches now. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I can hardly wait.